वालेकुम गाइस, कैसे हैं आप? उम्मीद करते हैं आप सब खैरियत से होंगे, खुश होंगे और हमारी दुआ है कि हमेशा खुश रहें, हंसते और मुस्कुराते रहें। मेरा नाम है रहमान अनवर
और मैं हूं मोहम्मद
और मैं हूं ज़फ़र इक़बाल।
और आज हम जिस वीडियो पे एक्ट करने जा रहे हैं, इस वीडियो का टाइटल है ऑन द शॉप फ्लोर। तो देखते हैं वीडियो। अगर वीडियो पसंद आए वीडियो को लाइक, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कीजिएगा। तो देखते हैं।
पोटेंशियल टू बिकम ग्लोबल
ये दे
आहा ऐसे जाते हैं अंदर माँ।
Hello and welcome. I'm Nitin Gokhale and I'm privileged to be in the world's largest forging facility, that is Bharat Forge of the Kalyani Group. And I'm again honored to be joined by Baba Kalyani, Chairman and Managing Director of the Kalyani Group or the Bharat Forge. So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to look at your plant. We know that this is a world-class company. It's a global company. I think one of the first MNCs in India. And I want to start with asking you, what is your spread of the business as far as the global footprints are concerned?
See, we normally have been operating largely in the automotive space, component space. So we are a big supplier of automotive components, largely critical components, what is called as the 5 C's.
Okay.
Rotating components, rest components, chassis components, safety components, to all the big OEMs. So we supply to all the OEMs in Germany, like Mercedes, like Audi, like BMW, then in Sweden to Volvo, Scania, in Italy to Fiat, Iveco, and of course in the United States to the big three.
So you name any automotive company you're there.
So we have our factories in Europe. We have 6 plants in Europe.
Right.
4 in Germany, 1 in France, 1 in Sweden. We have 2 plants in the United States.
Wow.
And of course we have half a dozen plants in India.
And obviously these companies don't give you orders year after year, decades after decade, if the quality and the satisfaction that they won't have in the product.
That's true. So, I mean, there is nothing more stringent than a top level automotive company.
Right.
Because their tolerance to a bad product is very, very low.
I'm sure. So, and you've been doing this for decades. So, when you started off, and I think more than half a century ago, as yourself and carrying on from your father's original business, what was the atmosphere at that point in time, and what is the change you've seen over the years?
See, I've been through right from 1972 till now. So I've seen from 1972 to 1991 the entire license Raj regime, as it was called. And it was extremely difficult to do anything technological, anything innovative, because even if you wanted to import a CNC machine from somewhere, you had to go and sit in Delhi, make an application, convince somebody in DGTD, as it was called in those days, and that someone would not understand EBC of what you're talking about, but he had the authority to say yes or no whether you can import a machine or not.
True.
So I think from those days to post-liberalization under Narasimha Rao's government, with Mr. Manmohan Singh as his finance minister, I think things changed very dramatically.
Right.
That is when after that liberalization, we decided that as a company, if we want to grow, we need to be global. And we started our global thrust in the early 90s,
Okay.
more like 93, 94 after liberalization. We invested a lot of capital in modern equipment because it became very easy to import equipment and do things. There was no import licenses required. You had to place an order. If you had money, you could do that. So things became very easy. What earlier used to take 5 years, now you could do it in 1 year.
Oh, okay.
So the kind of time
The facilitation
collapsed.
was important.
Yeah, exactly. And that prompted us to say we must now become a global company supplying components to the global OEM. And we started with that. We wanted to be amongst the top 5 companies in our field. But very soon we were found that we were very successful. We were getting a lot of orders, a lot of business. And by the end of the decade of the 90s, early 2000, we were virtually number 1 in this game.
Oh, wow. Therefore, the largest forging company. It's a reputation.
And then we decided that why not have a physical presence in other geographies?
Right.
Because that will then allow us to keep track with all the modern technologies that the OEMs are working with.
Right.
So we decided to have plants in Germany. Germany is the most technologically advanced market in this field. Of course, then is Sweden. Sweden is also very technologically advanced. And then, of course, the United States, the biggest market in the world.
Okay. Do you have some presence in Japan also?
No, we used to have a presence in China.
Oh, and what happened there?
We were there for 9 years. A lot of hard work.
Right.
But honestly, it really wasn't
Worth your time?
Yeah, worth our time. So we sold the business back to the Chinese.
And what were the problems, if I may ask?
You know, we had a majority control in that plant.
Right.
And the other, we had 52% and 48% was owned by a government-owned plant.
Right.
And in China, it's very customary those days that the chairman of the company is the trade union leader.
Oh, okay. And this was previous decade or?
This was in the 90s, from 2000, in the early 2000s.
2000s,
From
okay.
2005 to 2006 to 2015.
I see. Okay. So 9 years you were there,
9
but
years.
you had that. So the chairman would be a trade union leader.
Yeah, but he didn't interfere much. But
Right.
the problem was it was difficult. Decision making was difficult.
I'm sure.
Getting information was difficult. It wasn't easy.
Right. So you wound up from there. But your experience in Europe has been excellent.
It was very, very good in the beginning. Till I think the COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
I think post-COVID things have been quite rough in Europe.
In the sense of their economy going down or
Economy
wages going up.
Economy going down, inflation going up, and people's willingness to work.
Oh, that is declining there.
Very, very badly declined.
Oh, that's surprising because Germany, like you said, engineering skills and
It is still, I would say, it is still on the top of engineering skill capability. It still makes the best products in the world, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But things are getting difficult. I think Germany is also having a lot of challenges on the political scene, internally.
Absolutely.
The multiple parties, some of them extremely right-wing, and right-wing parties have a very different agenda.
Sure.
So
It hampers decision making certainly.
Yeah.
So let me come back to India and bring you to the question that I have uppermost in my mind is that you have this flourishing business in automotive industry. You're number 1 in the world, everything. What prompted you to come into defense? We are in a defense
we are in a defense shop. Yes.
So,
It was purely a passion and a thought that kind of kindled in my mind that for so many years we've been importing so much of defense products and mainly in relation to guns.
Yeah.
And it all started with, we didn't want to make guns, we were trying to make barrels.
these barrels,
Because there was a large demand for barrels for T-72 tanks. The barrels
The Russians wanted it.
No,
Oh, in India.
The barrels were bursting.
Right.
The quality was bad, and they had shortage of barrels.
Right.
So he wanted to make a barrel.
Okay.
So I tried for 4 or 5 years to make barrels. I made a few barrels, but it never got anywhere for some reason.
Okay.
They always found a way to kind of scuttle it and get me out of this business.
Right.
And I got, kind of really upset me, and some passionate spark inside me said, why the hell can't we make a gun?
Okay. Right.
And that's how we started. We started in 2011, 12.
Right.
2012 was a defense expo in Delhi where we first exhibited our first gun that we made called
Right.
Bharat 52.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course with Honorable Prime Minister's whole Make in India initiative.
From 2014 I
Yeah,
started.
December 14.
Yes.
And then Mr. Parrikar's entire reform process
True.
that happened in defense. I mean, he set up committees, we changed the defense procurement procedure.
Absolutely.
He did a lot of things to bring the whole private sector
Sure.
into play. And, it's very exciting those years. Because those are the years we could develop products, we could talk to the MOD very freely.
Which became a norm, which was not the norm earlier.
Exactly.
So, but making the gun is not easy, obviously. So, what did it take for you to do R&D or even bringing in some kind of knowledge from
See,
outside?
we've been doing R&D for last 11 years.
Yes.
Right.
In this, and we must have spent.
Is this one of those proofs of that R&D?
Yeah. This is actually ATAG. So this gun was designed by DRDO.
Right.
And we had a part to play in this along with Tata's.
Yes. They were development partners
Yeah,
for this.
development partner.
Right.
But there's a lot of work that we had to do ourselves
Correct.
for this.
Yeah.
For example, the entire gun control computer system, the entire digital system for this gun was developed by us.
Right.
So ours is different and Tata's is different,
Okay.
but both are digital.
Mhm.
So this is the first digital gun which is almost
Digital.
software driven.
Oh, that's the difference between
That's the
the
difference.
earlier.
You can change anything you want just by changing software.
Even your targets, your
Everything.
range, everything
Everything.
can be changed.
And it has got AI. The turning circle of the gun was reduced by using a very novel AI technique
Okay.
of putting two LVDTs and
Those-
connecting them to a triangle
Right.
to the towing vehicle.
Okay. Oh, that's innovation.
And we build our own algorithms
Uh-huh.
to do that.
Right.
So it's a combination of AI, digital, everything is digital.
Right.
We can control this gun with every millisecond.
Oh, that's lovely. So, I mean, your strength in forging
Yeah.
and making barrels
Yeah.
is now combined with the R&D that was
We set up a big design organization.
Right.
We are almost like 150 odd people,
Okay.
mainly MTech, PhDs, and working on even developing materials for the barrel
Right.
was a Herculean task
I'm sure.
because its performance has to be very, very, high level.
And also, the tolerance level for these
Yeah.
guns have to be for 30-40 years
Exactly.
going
It
forward.
has to be very strong.
Yeah.
But we have developed 9 platforms. This is not the
Right.
only one.
Yeah, that's not, ATAX is not only one.
This is the ultralight howitzer.
Right. This is
This is like the M777,
correct.
but in steel
Mhm.
and at 1/3 the price.
See, that is the advantage of making it in-house or making it in India.
So
And,
this way we have multiple different platforms.
Right.
That's another ultralight, but that's I think with 52
Yes.
caliber.
Right.
And of course we have our mounted gun system.
Which is
We have 39 caliber, which we are exporting
China
now.
के
It's our own design,
Correct.
completely designed by us,
Yes.
including the truck.
right.
And we have a 45 caliber on that.
Which is again another
Our-
product which is
our own design.
your own design. So, this whole myths or misconception that has been created that the private sector does not do R&D.
Oh, we did massive R&D.
Isn't this the proof?
We must have spent about 700-800 crores.
In just doing the R&D. So,
See, every gun you make,
mm,
it costs you about 15-20 crores.
right,
And you make
crores.
3-4 of them just for trial.
Right.
And you're not selling it to anybody.
because nobody has got it so
Yeah.
far.
got, you're already 100 crores
Correct.
down.
Exactly. No, but because of your passion, you could actually, get that done, because that hesitation is always there.
I think passion, but if we were aided tremendously by the policy changes of the government.
Okay.
What the Prime Minister did in Make in India,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on Atmanirbhar Bharat,
Right.
banning imports.
Correct.
That has been the biggest push to make this happen. And of course, latest is export policy.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a bit. I just wanted to take you to another aspect of your journey, is the emphasis on excellence. Now, how do you ensure that in a country where it's not always, the emphasis is not meant to be, but how do we manage that in
First of all, I think we have an excellent team.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the key members of our team were pulled out from our existing plants.
Okay,
So the guy who heads this artillery,
right.
he used to work in our forging division.
Okay. And now he's the head
Now
of...
he's the head of our artillery division.
Okay.
So, he knows as much as about designing guns. He's got a group that is able to do ballistics,
Right.
वाह
the
भाई वाह
control computer systems,
Mhm.
the electronic systems, the diagnostic systems. We can almost design any type of gun right now. We have all the knowledge that is required.
So over these 7-8 years you managed to
Last
do that?
12 years.
12 years, yeah.
So he is the top, but there is a large group below him.
I'm sure.
Are those guys inside?
Oh yes, yeah. I'll just hint them first.
Maybe we can just walk.
Yeah, we'll just walk
there.
Yeah,
That's all.
sure. So, the whole...
And the other thing we do,
Yeah.
if you have noticed,
Yeah.
we use very modern technology for building guns. Everything is digital.
Okay.
So when you use digital, the question of making mistakes reduces quite dramatically.
Minimize, I would say.
We use, wherever we can eliminate the man
Mm.
in terms of trying to do something, fiddling
Right.
around, we have taken care of that.
Right.
So all instructions are given digitally on a screen.
Right.
They have to follow the SOP to follow,
Correct.
step-by-step process, and they follow that.
Yeah, so it's that, the old style ruggedness.
If you went to a old style factory,
Right.
you would see a assembly line with about 500 people
And the noise.
and the noise. You will not see that here.
Right.
Actually, we are machining barrels there.
Okay, those are, I see.
That's the machining line for barrels.
Right.
This is the kind of machine barrels.
Ah,
But this is our second line. We have
Yes.
another line
I'm sure.
to machine barrels.
So, but your own knowledge of engineering, and you are a expert in that, right? When you did the forging business, you were leading and growing it. That also would have helped in the sense. Otherwise, it's not easy to think about all this.
This is about 7,000 components.
This one?
Guns.
Okay, guns. Yeah.
And each component has to be designed,
Yes.
manufactured. Of course, we don't make all of it. We have a lot of MSME partners.
Correct.
We have a lot of industrial partners.
Sure.
Like the engine of the gun is made by Cummins.
Right. Yes, right. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like that, the hydraulics is made by a company in Belgaum.
Right. Belgaum is known as a capital of hydraulics. and
अभी
Exactly.
sciences.
देखना भाई चीजें
You do a
दिखाएंगे
good
भाई
job.
अभी
Yeah.
देखना
So we work with this company on a long-term basis. We don't keep switching
Yeah.
Right.
here and there.
No, so the advantage of being in Pune, in Maharashtra is also there, I suppose,
Yeah.
because of the grown ecosystem. Oh, you got a
So they
large
are
team, big team.
Artillery Engineering Center. This is
Factory
part of it. So they do a lot of design
Yeah,
engineering work,
Right.
and they're right next to the product.
Right,
So
exactly.
that kind of helps.
So it's sort of, they can go to and fro when they want.
Exactly.
That is how. But wonderful. I mean, so many people working on.
असल सारा
design.
काम यहाँ पर हो
And
रहा है
there must be lots of learnings from
नहीं,
the
आगे भी है।
kind of trials that have happened.
See, it's a complex process.
Yes.
We make a barrel.
Right.
The barrel has to, before
इधर
you
देखना
make the
भाई।
gun,
Yeah.
the barrel has to go for proof testing.
Okay.
So the barrel has to go to Balaso,
Oh, I see.
and we have to fire it at P1 pressure. That means higher pressure than the actual pressure when it is going to be firing in actual,
Yeah.
I see.
let's say,
Yeah, in the field itself,
Yeah.
where the application is there.
and all data has to be
ओए यार वाकई
बिल्कुल यार, एक बाबा कल्याणी यार, एक जो चीज़ें वो रेडी कर रहे हैं ना, एक देख कर ही ऐसे ना दहशत सी यार, एक डर सा यार लग रहा है कि देखे ना कि इतनी इतनी बड़ी यार चीज़ें बना कर उन्होंने यहाँ रखी हुई है। बाकी ये अगर चीज़ देखा जाए तो वो जस्ट सिर्फ ना एक इंडिया में नहीं, एक काफ़ी जो दूसरी कंट्रीज़ है ना उनमें कई सारे एक उनकी ब्रांच है, कहीं 5 है, कहीं 1 2 3, हर कंट्री में उन्होंने लगाई हुई है, जो कि एक इतना वसी उनका काम है और बहुत सक्सेसफुल है। सर खुद बता रहे थे बाबा कल्याणी।
नहीं वाकई यार, एक डिफेंस आप अब समझ ले, और ये कोई मतलब कि ये नहीं कि एक बंदा एक छोटी सी दुकान मतलब कि एक दुकान उसने डाली हुई है, एक बैठा हुआ है कि सड़क पर, ऐसा कोई सीन नहीं है। इसमें पूरी सपोर्ट होती है आपको, पूरे मुल्क की, पूरे गवर्नमेंट और सारा एक सिस्टम इसमें हो जाता है। एक छोटी सी शॉप नहीं, लेकिन ये बहुत बड़ी यार डिफेंस हब है और बहुत बड़े इधर मतलब के काम हो रहा है कि जैसे भाई कंप्यूटर पर डिज़ाइनिंग करनी, लेकिन जो एक वेपन होता है ना उनको थोड़ा सा एक टेक्नोलॉजी साइड पर लाना वो सबसे बेटर होता है, क्योंकि एक मतलब के पहले होता था लोग बेचारे खुद आकर चलाते थे, ऐसे ही है ना, एक वो तोपों में गोले डालने, कई बार बंदे का गोला एक अपने आप को भी लग जाता था। लेकिन अब थोड़ा सा ना बंदा एक पीछे रह कर हर चीज़ वो कंट्रोल कर सकता है। जैसे वो भाई वो तोप को पीछे से भाई रिमोट कंट्रोल कर रहा था, तो वो सबसे एक बेटर है। और अभी तो भाई बहुत टेक्नोलॉजी वाले वेपन आ चुके हैं, बंदे को समझ ही नहीं लगती।
AI का यूज़ कर रहे हैं ना सर, बता भी रहे थे यार।
एक हमने तो भाई फर्स्ट असल में आगे एक कामयाबी भी इसी में, जब तक आप प्राइवेट जो है ना वो कंपनीज को साथ नहीं मिलाएंगे उस वक्त तक आप किसी भी चीज़ को जो है ना वो आगे नहीं ले जा सकते। ज़ाहिर बात है गवर्नमेंट का एक और हिसाब होता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे देख लो एक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप के जो है ना वो साथ एक किस तरह के एक हथियार बनाए जा रहे हैं, एक बड़े ट्रक, उसके अलावा बाकी जो बड़ी एक जो हम तो तोपें बोलते हैं उसको, वैसे भी तोप ही है वो है, लेकिन सबसे आम चीज़ उसमें यही है कि वो एक उसको उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी का काफ़ी ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। एक मैन पावर जो है ना वो कम से कम वहाँ पे इस्तेमाल की जाएगी। बाकी भाई एक बहुत बड़ा एक यूनिट था जिसमें एक जिस तरह ये एक आम जो है ना वो इतनी जल्दी दिखाते नहीं हैं यार, आपने बहुत कम इस तरह के एक यूनिट देखे होंगे जहाँ पे खासकर डिफेंस से रेलिवेंट चीज़ें एक तैयार हो रही होती हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे भाई देख के काफ़ी एक
नहीं वाकई आप देखो ना, एक सर काफ़ी डिस्कस कर रहे थे एक मतलब कि हर कंट्री का कि कैसे हिसाब किताब से चली जाती है चीज़ें। अब बहुत यार एक मतलब कि अच्छी बात है जो एक खुद मुल्क एक वेपन आपने बनाता है ना एक सिक्योरिटी को लेकर, ठीक है वो तो होती है, लेकिन जो आगे खरीदो फरोख्त होती है ना वो सबसे एक बेहतर है। क्योंकि अमेरिका अभी तक तो भाई काफ़ी है, अमेरिका को कोई मतलब कि एक नहीं काट सकता कि उससे आगे निकल जाए, लेकिन फिर भी इस रेस में होना भी काफ़ी एक बड़ी बात होती है
यार। सबसे बड़ा ये है कि आप बाकी मुल्कों के ऊपर डिपेंड ना हो,
हाँ ये
अपना आप तैयार कर रहे हैं, आपको किसी किस्म की टेंशन ही नहीं है, ये चीज़ थोड़ी बात होती है।
बिल्कुल यार, काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो थी, उम्मीद करते हैं आपको पसंद आएगी। अगर पसंद आए वीडियो को लाइक, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर कीजिएगा। मिलते हैं नई वीडियो के साथ, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह।